Be punctual, be reliable, be willing to take on new responsibilities, be eager to learn, take initiative, but also be flexible. You need to roll with the flow. Embrace change, as organizations today face a significant amount of change. Maintain a professional, open dialogue with your coworkers and your supervisor.
The best way to succeed on a new job is to be on time and ready to work. By ready to work, I mean at your desk, at your station, and working. Not in the building at the coffee stand or hanging around the time clock or cubicle and chatting. Also, be enthusiastic. Enthusiasm spills over, and if you're enthusiastic, others will be too. Be willing to listen and learn. You may have done a particular task one way at a past job, but because they did it that way doesn't necessarily mean that's the way we do it.
Most employers have the same basic expectations: that you have the required training, experience, and skills to do the job, that you are honest, reliable, and hardworking, that you are willing to learn, and that you get along well with coworkers, customers, and supervisors. Most of the time, this is enough to keep your job. But when pressured to cut some workers and keep others, employers don't just look for those who met expectations. They look for employees who went above and beyond what was asked of them. But how do you exceed expectations? I'm about to give you 12 tips for doing just that. Be sure to write down any that you have struggled with in the past or any that you plan to work on at your next job to better ensure your success. For starters, you should identify weaknesses in your basic skills and improve them. Employers expect you to have good basic academic skills. They want you to be able to write and read well, communicate effectively, use common computer programs, and perform basic math. Nearly every job requires these basic skills, and although it might not seem obvious in an interview, your employer will quickly find out if you don't have these basic skills. To help you improve your basic skills, consider taking courses through a community college or attending workshops at your local library. Classes in basic computer use, for example, can be as short as one evening or as long as an entire semester. In fact, it's a good idea to make sure you have these basic skills before you start looking for a job.
Tip 2. Dress and groom for success. Take a look at the people who are successful in your organization. How do they look? When appropriate, try to copy the dress and grooming of those working at the level you hope to reach next. Even if you wear a uniform to work, you can still present a clean, professional image. You can carry yourself with confidence and poise.
Tip 3. Come early and stay late. Try to get to work a little early each day to get organized and plan your day. Be ready for work the minute the clock starts. Then, at the end of the day, work a few minutes past quitting time. Show your commitment by volunteering to work late if necessary. Just be sure you understand the company's overtime policies before you start logging extra hours.
Tip 4. Be positive and enthusiastic.
Employees who come to work with a positive attitude have an equally positive effect on everyone around them. The employees who are most successful bring a certain energy and enthusiasm to their work that keeps them going, even when they run into problems. I'm not saying they love coming to work every day, but they do keep a smile on their face. They get along well with team members, and they tend to help everyone stay motivated and on task.
Tip 5. Set clear goals for yourself. Your goals may be daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. They may be goals for your current job or your whole career. They may be as simple as finishing a report or as complex as becoming head of your department. The clearer your goals, the more likely you are to reach them. If your goals are important to you, you will be more motivated to succeed. Finally, be willing to think long-term, even if that means a different job with a different company. Get the skills, training, and experience you need now to be successful 20 years from now.
Tip 6. Ask for more responsibility and volunteer for difficult projects.
You can tell the ones who are eager to move up because they are always asking what they can do next. They're always willing to try something new or take on the next project. I had one guy who would volunteer for every job I had. Eventually, everyone in the department started volunteering as well because they thought they were starting to look bad.
Don't be afraid to ask for more work if you think you have the time to spare. If there isn't extra work to be done, try to find some other way to solve problems or make improvements and propose those to your supervisor.
Tip 7. Ask your employer what you need to do to get a pay raise or promotion. It may seem a little forward, but in your first few weeks on the job, ask your supervisor if you can meet to discuss long-term plans for promotion. Ask for a set of requirements that your supervisor would like you to meet and set a future date to review your progress. Don't be pushy, but try to get feedback from your boss from time to time. Doing so lets your boss know that you are invested in your job and committed to doing good work.
Tip 8. Get as much training as possible. Ask for additional training at work or learn more on your own time. Consider attending conferences or workshops in your industry. Ask your supervisor about company-sponsored training opportunities. Take evening classes or simply read books, magazines, and manuals related to your field. The more you learn, the more you improve your skills and the more successful you'll be.
Lifelong learning is important, even if you're finished with school, even if you've been at your job for several years, because everything's changing rapidly and it will only get faster. So you want to stay ahead of the curve because what you know today is going to be antiquated a year or two from now. So read industry websites, stay on top of what's going on in your field, and continue to learn and hone your skills and acquire new ones so that you continue to remain valuable in the marketplace.
It seems that what you need to know changes every day. You have a responsibility to yourself and to your career to keep up. Stay up to date with your computer skills and don't be afraid to learn new things.
Tip 9. Get measurable results. Remember what you were hired to do. Pay attention to your core activities and goals and do them to the best of your ability. Then, when you accomplish something, keep a record of it. When the time is right, you can use those records to showcase the value you've added to the company and ask for a promotion.
When the time comes for a review, or when an employee comes to me and asks me for a raise, I want to see evidence that they deserve it. Hard numbers, records, reports, customer feedback. It can be dollars saved, revenue increased, deadlines met, awards won. Just as long as I can compare those results to others or my own expectations, it's hard to argue with the facts.
Whenever you are asking for a raise or during your performance review or even in your networking, you want to be able to speak to your contributions and your accomplishments. Any company values its employees based not only on hard work, but how that hard work contributes to the success of the business. So I would suggest that you keep an ongoing file of what you do, what the results are, and then how they benefit the business. Are you saving money? Are you cutting down process time? Do you help retain a valued customer? This is what the company is going to value in you.
Tip 10. Keep networking.
Don't stop networking just because you found a job. In fact, having a job actually makes networking easier and more important. Look for people in your organization or connected to it who can give you advice. Join professional organizations, attend conferences, and get business cards. Introduce yourself and let people in the industry know what you have to offer. Sometime down the road, they may have an opportunity that's even better than the one you have now.
People have vital information about industry trends, what's going on in your particular marketplace. They can offer you advice and support throughout your career. So always keep your network active. And it doesn't mean that you need to be emailing them every day or meeting with them all the time. Just make sure that you stay on your radar screen. Send them a vital networking link, or if you've come across an article that might be of interest to them, call it to their attention. And this means not only social networking on the internet, but you got to get out in front of people too. Both are important.
While you are networking, be on the lookout for a mentor. Someone you respect who can give you advice about your career. It could be a supervisor or a more experienced coworker. It might be someone else who works in the same industry. Ask this person to teach you what they know, to show you the ropes. You may be surprised at how much inside information they have and how it can help you succeed.
Tip 11. Keep your personal and work life separate. When you are at work, your employer expects you to stay on task, which means you need to keep your personal life from affecting your ability to do your job. While real emergencies require attention, all too often employers find workers dealing with personal matters on company time. For example, you will want to avoid the following: coming in late or extending breaks to meet personal responsibilities, talking to, emailing, or texting friends or family on company time, and shopping or surfing the internet, or making non-work related phone calls.
I had one person who would always balance her checkbook at work. I'd walk by her cubicle and find her hunched over the check register with a calculator. Later, I found out that she got a lot of personal business done on company time. She did most of her holiday shopping online at her workstation. Of course, she's no longer working with us.
You know, most employers don't object to a little bit of personal business on the job. If you have to send a quick email or check with daycare or confirm an appointment and it doesn't interfere with your productivity or anyone else's, it's not going to be a problem. The problem starts when it becomes excessive. And I do know of an instance where there was a young person who would play video games and be all over the internet and be doing Google searches and sending text messages. And the employer did talk to him about this because it was unacceptable. And when the problem continued, lost his job. You want to keep personal business absolutely to a minimum.
Finally, tip 12. Promote yourself. You are your own best advocate. You know best what you are capable of and what you've accomplished. Of course, you don't want to appear self-important, but your supervisor may overlook you if you don't make it a point to stand out. By dressing and acting the part, volunteering for new projects, improving your skills, and keeping a record of your achievements, you will show that you are a good worker and are eager to get ahead. Be assertive. When you feel the time is right, gather evidence of your success and go ask for the raise or promotion that you've earned.